According to the prevalent definition of Neech Bhang Yoga, the Neech status or debilitation status of a planet in debilitation is cancelled, and Neech Bhang Yoga is formed if any one of the following conditions are met in a horoscope. If a debilitated planet is debilitated in Lagna or birth horoscope but it is exalted in Navamsha chart, Neech Bhang Yoga is said to be formed in the horoscope. For example, debilitated Mercury placed in second pada of Uttarabhadrapada nakshatra, which means that Mercury is placed in Pisces in the birth chart and it is placed in Virgo in Navamsha chart. If a debilitated planet is placed with an exalted planet in a horoscope, Neech Bhang Yoga is said to be formed in the horoscope. For example, Venus and Mercury in Pisces, where Mercury is debilitated and Venus is exalted. If the lord of the sign of debilitation of a debilitated planet is placed with the debilitated planet or it is aspecting the debilitated planet in a horoscope, Neech Bhang Yoga is said to be formed in the horoscope. For example, if Jupiter, being the lord of Pisces sign, is placed in Pisces along with debilitated Mercury, or Jupiter is aspecting Mercury from Virgo. If two debilitated planets are placed in 7th house with respect to each other and they are aspecting each other, Neech Bhang Yoga is said to be formed in the horoscope. For example, Mercury in 4th house in Pisces and Venus in 10th house in Virgo. If the lord of sign of debilitation of a debilitated planet is either exalted or it is placed in a Kendra house in a horoscope, Neech Bhang Yoga is said to be formed in the horoscope. For example, debilitated Mercury in Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer or in any one of Kendra houses of the horoscope. If the lord of the sign of exaltation of a debilitated planet is exalted or placed in a Kendra house of the horoscope, Neech Bhang Yoga is said to be formed in the horoscope. For example, debilitated Jupiter in Capricorn and Moon, being the lord of Cancer, which is the sign of exaltation of Jupiter, is placed in Taurus or in any one of Kendra houses of a horoscope. If a debilitated planet becomes Virgottama in a horoscope, which means it occupies the same sign in the birth horoscope as well as Navamasha chart, Neech Bhang Yoga is said to be formed in the horoscope. For example, debilitated Mercury placed in 4th pada of Revati nakshatra will make Mercury Virgottama in the horoscope as it is placed in Pisces in the birth chart as well as in Navamsha chart. As already stated, if any one of the above-mentioned conditions is met in a horoscope, debilitation of a planet is cancelled in the horoscope and such debilitated planet forms Neech Bhang Yoga in the horoscope, which can bless the native with the results similar to or even stronger than the results Vedic astrologers, that if two or more than two debilitated planets form Neech Bhang Yoga in a horoscope at the same time, they can make the native a very powerful king or emperor, which in today's world will be equivalent to the prime minister or president of a very powerful country. Let's now analyze the conditions mentioned in the definition of Neech Bhang Yoga and let's try to find out as in how many cases of debilitation a Neech Bhang Yoga is formed in a horoscope. Let's assume that a native is born with Virgo ascendant and Jupiter is debilitated by its placement in Capricorn in a horoscope and it is placed in 5th house of the horoscope. Let's now try to find out the possibilities of cancellation of this debilitation and the possibilities of formation of Neech Bhang Yoga in the horoscope. Starting with Saturn, which is the lord of the sign of debilitation of Jupiter. If Saturn is placed in any one of Kendra houses of this horoscope, which means the houses number 1, 4, 7 and 10 of the horoscope. Or if Saturn is placed in 2nd house of the horoscope, where the sign of Libra is placed, which is the sign of exaltation of Saturn. Or if Saturn is placed in 5th house of the horoscope along with Jupiter and in its own sign of Capricorn. Or if Saturn is placed in 1st house, 3rd house, 8th house, 9th house or 11th house of the horoscope, from where Saturn can cast an aspect on Jupiter according to the aspects assigned to Saturn by Vedic astrology. The debilitation of Jupiter will be cancelled in the horoscope merely on the basis of placement of Saturn in certain specific houses of the horoscope, as Saturn is the lord of the sign of debilitation of Jupiter. If we count these incidences, it can be found that in the above-mentioned example, the placement of Saturn in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 8th, 9th or 11th house of the horoscope will cancel the debilitation of Jupiter, and it will lead to the formation of Neech Bhimgraj Yoga in the horoscope. It means that the placement of Saturn in 9 out of 12 houses of the horoscope will cancel the debilitation of Jupiter, and it will form Neech Bhimgraj Yoga in the horoscope. Taking other conditions for the formation of Neech Bhimgraj Yoga into consideration, the placement of Mars in 5th or 11th house of the horoscope. Mars is exalted in Capricorn in 5th house in this case, and Mars is debilitated in Cancer in 11th house in this case. The placement of Moon, which is the lord of the sign of exaltation of Jupiter, in house number 1, 4, 7, 10 or 11 of the horoscope, and some other combinations will also cancel the debilitation of Jupiter in the horoscope, and it will form Neech Bhimgraj Yoga in the horoscope.